Having pricing on your website is absolutely critical. It's one of two things that are absolute musts: pricing and examples of what you've done. And I'm going to show you here why it's important, how to prove it works as well. So on this website, they've got pricing here. It's in the navigation bar and it's very clear what their pricing is. They're not saying what each individual job is. They're just giving a range of ideas in this case so that people have an idea, because people just will not make contact if they don't know what something's likely to cost. They fear the fact that when you quote a cost to them, it's going to be outside their budget. They don't want to feel like that. And they feel that any website that is hiding pricing is basically trying to hide everything from them. So there are different ways of doing it. This is a very simple way. There's pricing in the navigation bar, and it's also set up so wherever someone is on the website, they can see that there. And there are other calls to action within the website to take people to that page. This one has been live for 2 weeks with pricing in it, and it's up 24% in inquiries that they get purely because of this page. Here's another example. This pricing page has led to a huge amount of business for this company. And in their case, what they've done is they've separated it out to different types of services that they provide. And within that, they briefly summarize the service. They give a guide to how much pricing is broadly. And then they say what percentage of people pay within a certain smaller range. So that range there is within this range here. And so it means that most people will look at that and think, oh, okay, I'm probably going to be in the majority when I make content about my project that I want doing. Now, they might not be, but they will have that feeling that most people are paying within a certain range rather than this much wider range here shown. Let's look at what that actually does. This is looking at data of inquiries gained over recently. And we can see the people came into the website. Obviously, if you're using things like Google Ads, you want to get a return on that. These people spent 42 seconds on the landing page. You went straight to pricing, spent 4 minutes on that, looked at other pages, and ultimately made contact here. That was an inquiry. This one, they actually came straight into the pricing page because you can do that, and they made contact, as did that one. This one came in on a patios page, went to pricing. And as they went through here, they looked at other things like testimonials as well, but they made contact. So there are loads and loads of examples of why that actually works. If you've still got any doubts about doing this, because people do have doubts, they say things like, oh, we don't want our competitors to see our pricing. It's a ridiculous excuse. Your competitors will find out what your pricing is regardless of what you put on your website. And you are, as it says here in this article, you absolutely will lose potential inquiries by not having pricing on there. And in this article, I go through every excuse people have got, and it's the one thing that I'm absolutely adamant about and can prove over and over again. You put pricing in your website somewhere, very visible, always in the navigation bar with calls to action so that people always see that there, and you will get a lot more inquiries from your website visitors.